Guys, I'm gonna read The Delivery Boy from my father, the watchmaker. Although I've made a lot of friends in my life, I don't have any money. When I was a child, I remember playing with my younger brother in the living room when no one was there. I told him that I would like to live in this room forever and that I would need nothing but the furniture and very little money. For me, a little bit of money is a lot, even though I spend a lot of that little money very fast. In this respect, I'm a lot like my father. In those days, I was busy working as a delivery boy for the postal services. I feel I was destined to work and live as a delivery boy, even when my mother used to ask me to run errands. I always wished that those errands would last a lot longer than they did, for I love to be outdoors. I never enjoyed household chores, for apart from being boring, they required a particular skill and degree of meticulousness I lacked. I never liked to sweep the floors because I always felt that I was merely sweeping dust from one part of the house to another. Delivering packages does not require any special skill. In fact, one wanders. And because our corner of the city was so small, I used to travel alone on foot. Down the street, not too far from the clock tower, lived a cobbler whose house was surrounded by shoes. The cobbler had a beautiful daughter I tried to seduce during one of my meanderings, delivering parcels and letters. The job of a delivery boy can also be challenging. Last year, a virus spread like a plague, and the whole country, including our city, shut down entirely for 3 months. Delivery boys, however, kept on working because letters and parcels still needed to be delivered. However, by and large, I can always say that delivering packages has had a calming effect on me, as it has kept me outdoors and has allowed me to daydream and reflect on my life. They say that my father didn't struggle to move his watch shop from one nation to another. It happened effortlessly for him, like the coming together of the two hands of a clock. It was only a question of time. I wonder whether close to the watch shop in Lahore stands a clock tower just like the one we have here. He didn't take his shoes off for 3 days after they traversed the new border. They said he carried a rifle with him at all times, and when he returned to see if he could retrieve some of our family belongings from our home on Nisbat Road, he stood outside its main doors but didn't enter. Instead, he stood still and waited until a servant, the very same servant who had told my mother of the pending partition of the country, because my father liked to protect her from all bad news, opened the doors. And my father, for a moment, got a brief glimpse of the family that had settled in and had already begun wearing our clothes. The house on Nisbat Road, my father used to tell me, faced a school. I once got a visa to go to Pakistan, but did not go, for it did not make sense anymore to cross the border or to fly via Dubai at an inordinately high fare in the hope of seeing a mere building that once housed my family. I would instead imagine myself wandering into Anarkali, like on one of my meanderings delivering post in Chandni Chowk. There I would discover the remains of our ancestral watch shop that now sells clothes. In that shop, I would strike a conversation with a man roughly the age of my father. We would immediately get on a familiar footing, and he would invite me home for tea. While sipping on tea, my attention would unexpectedly be drawn to his clothes and his watch. For a moment, they would look like the kind of clothes and watch my father used to wear. For a moment, I would be sitting in a home on Nisbat Road, facing a school, talking to a man who looks like my father.